There is something strange about respect. You can spend years trying to earn it, and never receive it. Or you can stop chasing it entirely, and somehow, people begin offering it freely. Have you ever wondered why? Why does one person's opinion silence an entire room, while another repeats themselves 3 times, and still goes unheard? Why do some people naturally command attention, without raising their voice, while others constantly explain themselves, apologize for existing, and leave every conversation wondering if they said the wrong thing? The answer is uncomfortable. Because respect is not decided in the moment you speak. It is decided long before you open your mouth. Every day, without realizing it, you are teaching people how to treat you. Not through your words. Through your standards. The human mind is constantly making silent judgments. It asks questions you never hear. Does this person trust themselves? Do they protect their time? Do they abandon their own principles when pressure appears? Can they remain calm when everyone else loses control? Within seconds, the brain begins forming conclusions. And those conclusions become something we call respect. This is why 2 people can possess the same intelligence, the same experience, even the same kindness, yet walk away with completely different lives. One is listened to. The other is overlooked. One is trusted. The other is questioned. One inspires confidence before speaking a single sentence. The other spends years trying to convince the world they matter. The difference is almost never talent. It is invisible behavior. The behaviors repeated so often, they quietly become identity. Most people believe respect is given by the world. The Stoics believed something entirely different. They believed the world rarely creates your value. It simply discovers it. That changes everything. Because if respect is discovered, not granted, then chasing it is the greatest mistake you could make. Imagine trying to catch your own shadow. The faster you run, the further away it seems. But the moment you stop chasing it, and turn toward the light, the shadow follows without effort. Respect behaves in exactly the same way. The more desperately you need other people to confirm your worth, the less certain you become of it yourself. And strangely enough, other people can feel that uncertainty long before you ever speak. The strongest people in the room are rarely the ones demanding respect. They are the ones who no longer need the room to decide their worth. Most people lose respect long before anyone openly disrespects them. It happens in tiny moments that seem harmless. Someone interrupts you, and you let it go. A friend repeatedly arrives late, and you pretend it doesn't matter. A coworker asks for another favor after you've already sacrificed enough, and you say yes, even though you resent it. One moment changes nothing. But repeated moments create a pattern. And patterns become identity. This is one of the oldest principles of human psychology. People do not remember every word you say. They remember what you repeatedly tolerate. Every unnecessary apology, every broken promise to yourself, every boundary you abandon to avoid disappointing someone else becomes silent evidence. Evidence about how valuable you believe your own time, energy, and dignity are. That is why respect slowly disappears. Not because someone consciously decides, I no longer respect this person. But because your behavior has quietly taught them what to expect from you. The Stoics saw this clearly. Epictetus taught that, the moment you allow another person's opinion to determine your behavior, you hand them authority over your peace of mind. Think about how often people explain themselves. A simple decision becomes a 5-minute justification. A disagreement becomes a desperate attempt to be understood. An insult becomes an argument that must be won. But here is the uncomfortable truth. The person who constantly explains themselves is not proving innocence. They are often revealing fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of disapproval. Fear that if they are misunderstood, their worth will somehow decrease. The human mind notices this immediately. The more desperately someone seeks validation, the less certain they appear. and uncertainty weakens influence. This is why the most respected people are often the calmest. They do not rush to defend every accusation. They do not interrupt to prove their intelligence. They do not panic when someone disagrees with them. Because they have already made peace with something most people never accept: not everyone will approve of them. Marcus Aurelius understood this during one of the darkest periods of the Roman Empire. Plague was spreading. Wars threatened the borders. The pressure of ruling millions rested on his shoulders. Yet in his private journal, he did not obsess over whether people admired him. He reminded himself of a single principle: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Imagine the strength required for that. An emperor surrounded by chaos choosing to master his own thoughts before trying to control the world. That is the hidden architecture of respect. Not dominance. Not aggression. Self-mastery. Because the person who remains calm while others become emotional sends a powerful signal without saying a word. My emotions belong to me. They do not belong to you. And nothing commands respect more deeply than a person who cannot be easily shaken. So how do you begin becoming that person? Not tomorrow. Not next year. Today. The answer is far simpler than most people imagine, and far more difficult to practice. It begins with one decision. Stop negotiating with yourself. Every time you promise to wake up early, then press the snooze button. You teach yourself that your own word has no authority. Every time you know you should speak up, but remain silent out of fear, you teach yourself that comfort matters more than truth. Every time you allow someone to cross a boundary simply because confrontation feels uncomfortable, you send yourself a dangerous message. My peace depends on keeping everyone else happy. It doesn't. The world is constantly watching what you tolerate. But before the world notices, you notice. Every broken promise weakens your confidence. Every kept promise strengthens it. That is why self-respect can never be borrowed. It must be built. One decision at a time. One difficult conversation at a time. One disciplined morning at a time. People often ask, how do I become more confident? They are asking the wrong question. Confidence is not something you find. Confidence is evidence. It is the evidence your mind collects after watching you repeatedly do difficult things. Every courageous action becomes another vote for the person you are becoming. Eventually, those votes become identity. And identity changes everything. Because once you begin respecting yourself, something remarkable happens. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop chasing invitations where your presence is merely tolerated. You stop begging for appreciation from people who only notice your absence when you stop giving. Not because you've become cold. Not because you've become arrogant. But because you've finally realized that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is responsibility. The Stoics never believed life would become easy. Marcus Aurelius did not control the plague. Epictetus did not control slavery. Seneca did not control exile. They were not respected because life spared them from suffering. They were respected because suffering never persuaded them to abandon their principles. That is the difference. Anyone can appear strong when life is comfortable. Character is revealed when comfort disappears. And perhaps that is why genuine respect feels so rare today. We live in a world that rewards appearance. The philosophers reminded us to build substance. Appearance fades. Status changes. Money comes and goes. Public opinion changes with the wind. But the character remains. One day, you will walk into a room. No one will know the battles you fought before sunrise. No one will know how many times you chose discipline instead of excuses. No one will know how many nights you stood alone because your principles mattered more than acceptance. But somehow, they will feel it. Because character has a presence. It enters the room before your voice does. It is visible in the way you carry yourself. In the way you refuse to react. In the way you protect your word. in the way you remain calm while others surrender to emotion. That is why respect can never truly be demanded. It can only be recognized. So stop asking, "How do I make people respect me?" Ask a question that will change the course of your life. Am I becoming someone I would respect? Because if the answer to that question becomes yes, the opinions of the world will slowly lose their power over you. And in that moment, you discover something greater than respect. Freedom. The freedom to act according to your principles. The freedom to remain calm in the face of chaos. The freedom to stand alone when standing alone is the right thing to do. That is the freedom legendary emperors, warriors, and rulers sought and protected. And that is the freedom no one can ever take from you. Because it was never given by the world in the first place. It was built, quietly, inside you. And once you possess that strength within you, you stop asking the world to tell you who you are. You no longer walk into a room searching for respect. You walk into the room carrying it.